Hello guys, it's Masterpiece here, and today we're going to do a blue-yellow hybrid deck list. So our first is Shakkoumon, our egg. His effect is when attacking, if your opponent has no sources, draw one. It's a good generic egg compared to all the other eggs, so I like it. The eggs aren't that important though, since we're not really swinging using his effect often. Digimon, great security Digimon, lets us draw two. And what's great is when sometimes you don't know what to do, you can just hard play it, sometimes try to retreat it, sometimes come out of security. It's a great Digimon for this blue-yellow hybrid list. Angemon's a great comeback card. You can definitely just DNA into your Shakkoumon. However, that's not your only option. You can Digivolve for one into Zephyrmon to get that recovering effect when you're at 3 security. So be flexible with it. The Inheritable is kind of good when attacking if you have 3 more security, bound to level 3. But you're not going to use it often, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. Bloomlordmon. One of the reasons why I'm running this list. I love the new security Digimon. I might try Harris in the future, but right now I'm trying Bloomlordmon because the draws are really good just to get your pieces that you really need or to not run out of hybrids. And you get all your Tamers, so yeah, it's really good. At the end of your battle, draw 2, that discards your hand. So you just get 3 cards right out the gate when it comes out of security. And sometimes it comes out of security, and because you have TK card on board, you really have a bunch of memory to just hardplay that for 3, tactical retreat it. Then you're back to your security that you were at originally, and you can draw more and more and more, and just recycle that. Next up, we got Patamon. Patamon is sort of your flex spot. You can definitely play other level 3s. You can play 2 more Bloomlordmons. You can play Shakkoumons for the meta, so people can't reduce the evolution cost. But at the moment, I'm experimenting with Patamon because sometimes you don't have enough memory to Digivolve into Angemon that you just got that turn and Digivolve into a hybrid because you just pass over turn. So this is a good card sometimes, just to catch people off guard, really. Next thing is Zephyrmon. We just want to Digivolve it on top of Tamers, especially like TK when it has no effects. Pretty useless later on. And yeah, the one Digimon effect doesn't really matter too much, so I'm not gonna highlight that. Kazimon sits in the same boat. Really, just Digivolve on top of your Tamer, swing, go for it. Jetsilphymon, sadly, is a limited card, so we can only have 1 of it, but it's really good to Digivolve for 1, top of your other hybrid that was on a Tamer, and recover 1. And then you typically want to use this one to go into your Mega Fast, and Shakkoumon is used just to recover. By Shakkoumon, I mean this guy. So Shakkoumon, you can't really recover past 6, but that's fine. You just Digivolve into your on top of your hybrid and go recover 2/6. That's great. Another great thing is when you DNA with Angemon and one of your hybrids, be sure to specify you're gonna recover off of Angemon first and then do Shakkoumon, because if you don't do that, you might skip the Angemon effect because you recovered your for security. Now you just can't activate the Angemon effect. So know your steps about that, and don't forget his when DNAing effect. People don't use it often, but when they do, it's really crazy because you can bounce a level 5 or 6 at times if you're at really high security already. So that's great, especially when now there's Beelzemon and they have a lot on deletion and you just don't really want to delete them. You just want to bounce back to hand. That's pretty good. Venusmon. Venusmon's a great Digimon because a lot of Digimon at the moment have when Digivolving effects. So Black or Greymon, they do a lot of popping Tamers. They do a lot of playing their own Tamers like ties, but they can't do that when they can't use their own Digivolving effect. Though you do have to time the Venusmon correctly. If you don't, you might lose a lot of things. Also, it counters against Bloomlord, they can't get back their memory. It counters Beelzemon because they have a lot of when Digifying effects to just trash things. And hunters, I don't know, they don't get to draw that much from the purple sources or get that rush. Yeah, BT12, great card. Beautiful. Next we have Seraphimon. Seraphimon is when Digivolving, recovery 1, and security attack +1, you get 3 more security. This is the reflect spot for your Mega. You can definitely change it into Dynasmon if you want to. Dynasmon is also a good Digimon. I thought about it. I'm just using this for this one just because I want to get used to the card as it gets upgraded later into EX4 with Black Seraphi. But I don't know. I like recovering +1 because it's one of these old Digimon cards where they don't really cap you at a certain security number, and you just keep recovering over and over to like 7, 10s. So yeah, that's why I like this card. Though I might switch out for Dynasmon tomorrow. Susanamon. Yes, Shakkoumon can use security attack +2, delete one opponent's Digimon. Sometimes you can remain in turn when Digivolving to this Digimon. You know, it costs 7 because you have multiple TK cards on board. So that's like a huge comeback mechanic. Though recently I have been using it to prevent deck out because you're recovering a lot and drawing a lot. So to counteract this, you're just doing Susanamon just to prevent deck out. Next we have DeathXmon. DeathXmon is, well, first I just care about when you should play this Digimon. You should play this Digimon typically when they have like no Digimon raising. So when you slam it down for its reduced cost, you have to worry about their comeback mechanic from the back. And it's not here, but when it gets played, it'll Digivolve every Digimon on the board and delete all level 4 or lower. And later on, one reason why you don't want them to come back and sort of delete and try to kill DeathXmon or whatever, because this Digimon is a good just boss monster on your board, because anything that your opponent tries to play on the board will just get deleted at the end of the turn. Well, the lowest play cost. But yeah, he's a big threat. And I love him, especially during this like sort of like floody teamer format at the moment, because Black Greymon is gonna play a bunch of teamers, Hunter's gonna play a bunch of teamers, Bloomlord's gonna go wide, and BT12, well, you're not gonna use this much, but situationally you might have to use it. Ice Wall. Ice Wall is a great card. I wish I could have 4, but it's only a 1 of because it's limited. All of my opponents Digimon gain 1 attacking, lose 2 memory. Yeah, great effect because there's no floodgate to stop lose memory. There's floodgates for gaining memory but not losing. So great card for that. I would have to say be careful when you're using this, because if you watch my gameplay videos, I do probably mess up using Ice Wall like once or twice each game. So just beware when to use Ice Wall, because since you're recovering a lot, just know your boundaries and just realize your opponent can't end you that turn, so don't panic and Ice Wall. Just save it for the right moment. Next we have Plasma Decorator Launcher. One reason why this is a great card, because instead of playing for 7, you can play for 5 to have 2 more Digimon, which is typically when you want to play it. And sadly you can't bounce level 5 or lower, but level 6 or higher is typically what you want to bounce. So BT12, like there's no hybrid rush format at the moment, so no one's like gonna be like always level 5 or lower. Okay, Hunter may be an exception, but you know you're mainly concerned when you have the quartz ones. Okay, that's when you're saving this card. And also the security effect is really good because it's not just security use main effect, it just bounce a Digimon to your hand. Doesn't say any levels, just bounce a Digimon. So yeah, really good. Next we have Lónkhē Adistakto. Its main effect, if you have 3 more security, minus 12k DP, one of your opponent's Digimon. And if your opponent is doing multiple checks, what I like to do is personally minus 12k DP that Digimon that's attacking multiple checks, because by chance you could die to the next Digimon that's in security, and you have to worry about that boss monster versus like minus 12k DP the other thing on board. And then if you have to do your security, place one Digimon on top of their security. So, really good effect. It's your choice situationally how you want to use it, because if you're perfectly at 3, you can -12 keep the big boy, then try to put on top of the deck the smaller boy that's on the field, or wherever is going to go for game, really. You put the small thing on board into top of security, you know you have a safer check to go into a hybrid and swing into security, and just do more greedier plays like that. But yeah, for these cards, you could definitely change it up to a Wyvern's Breath. I do like my Lónkhē Adistakto because it's sort of like my Chaos grade, so I like it. As my deck launcher, you could definitely change it to like Cocytus Breath or something else. But yeah, I like it. I like these two. TK and Kari. TK and Kari is sort of like a must. You know, I might change it to 4 even. But yeah. It's a great card. You don't only use its your turn when the yellow Digimon attacks -1 KDP. You could situationally, you know, just to get small bodies off the board. But typically 1k minus is like not enough, so it's whatever. I mainly use it for the start of turn effect. If you have less security than your opponent, which is like not a hard condition at all, then you gain 2 or more memory. And with that memory, you mainly invest in getting more Tamers. You mainly invest in drawing by playing Digimon. You know, it's great. It is great. Kari Kamiya. Oh, I did not change the effects, but overall, it's a memory resetter, and if you recover, you can tap it, gain 1 memory. So sometimes you're TKing Karis. Sometimes your TKs, you can just play it for 4, get a yellow Digimon or your Death X that you needed to like sort of counter the field, and that was like in your security. You can sort of grab it out and sort of play TK for 3 and do whatever you need to. You can play Zoe for 2 if she gets a hybrid out. You just play like sort of a lot of things cheaper. Tactical Treat for 0, Digivolve on top of Angemon into Zephyrmon for branch 0 now. Did Sophie Digivolve for 0 now. Did Shakkoumon Digivolve for 3 now. You know, you just, because you're yellow, you're just making a lot of things cheaper, and this is sort of the memory setter you want to keep on the field. TK and Kari, TK, you can just Digivolve on top of that, okay? Next, we got TK Takaishi. TK is a good memory setter, but what's great is sort of filtering your security, filtering what you want in there, what you don't want in there. And sometimes you do want to minus your security so you can proc your TK and the Kari effect. And when you do that, you know, like let's say me and my opponent are 5 high security. They're trying not to swing at me as long as possible to set up. I'm like, okay, fine. I want to grab any blue Digimon in my security, or the Ice Wall I need. Ice Wall security. I'm going to grab that, so I'm at 4 security, and now you have to do something because my TK and Kari are going to proc. I am going to go off next turn. So yeah, that's a good card in that situation, and also just good in general. Next we have Zoe. Zoe is like TK, but it's not a memory setter, and it has a very specific way to filter your security just to get your hybrids, which is fine. You just want to keep filtering, and it is for cheaper. Instead of 4, it's for 3. So it's a great card. Bonus security DP doesn't matter too much, but sometimes it can help in situations, but you have to worry about that. Next is Tactical Retreat. This is one of the reasons why I'm playing this deck, because I got 4 alt-arts from the Bloomlordmon starter deck. And yeah, it's a great card. It's great in security, and it's great in your hand, especially in this deck. If you're playing Secon, sometimes this card's not good in your hand. You have nothing to bounce to your hand, but in this deck, you can definitely bounce your hybrids that you just Digivolve into. You can Digivolve for 2, swing over the small bodies that just swung your security, so you know it's gonna live, and you know you just cleared board. Tactical Retreat and sort of refund that security. And they just lost. You can play Zoe to get that back, that hybrid, and then sort of make security anew. Or or just help fund that Susanoo-mon now, because you definitely got your Tamer into your graveyard. So type of treat, the great card. Also, I said it before, but you can combo it with Korjamon and Balookamon to get draw 2 as they get hit security once again. Okay, moving on to our last card. Reinforced Memory Boost. It's a one of. Also one of in his deck. You're trying to use them as much as possible. Build top 2. Put one in security, one in your hand. You decide. Great card. I already explained every card in this deck list, so hopefully you're smart enough to know which is the best card to grab. And then gain 3 memory. That's a lot of memory. That's a lot of memory. Go to Susanoo-mon with that memory. Go to multiple hybrids in that memory. Just do about everything with that memory. But yeah, that's the end of this deck list. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you want more of this style of the video or more of like my noob to pro video with my Jessamon deck list. But yeah, have a great day or not, the choice is yours. Goodbye.